Charlie Nicholas insists any scrutiny over Celtic's Champions League campaign should be levelled at the board, not Ange Postecoglou. What is the clown on about? This board have given the Celtic manager what he wants, and we old guys know that is a rare thing at Celtic FC. He's never been to a Celtic game in years, and that's all he's getting on this channel today. There was a hint of the wounded animal about Celtic at the weekend, as they came out roaring against Hibs like a side with a point to prove. Ange Postecoglou set the tone. The ferocious defence of his squad's performances in the Champions League, snapping back at being lumped in with the rest of the Scottish clubs who'd suffered in Europe. The Celtic boss got the response he wanted as his players tore into Hibs to banish Euro Blues, and then fired a few more shots at the snipers after the final whistle. It was the reaction Postecoglou wanted, but it did leave some wondering who he was aiming his ire at. After all, there was no real savage criticism of Celtic after the Leipzig game. Sure, there was analysis, and while there were references to a run of poor Scottish results, no one really chucked the Celtic result in with Sevco and Hearts shipping 7 and 5 to Liverpool and Fiorentina. Football players think about what managers say, but there's a lot to be said about finding ways to get that little bit more out of them. It might be the language you use or tricks that may or may not be true. Celtic looked like a side out to prove a point at the weekend, whether they actually needed to or not. That's what it's all about. It's not easy for a club like Celtic. I used to look for a hook. It might be a small thing and maybe not the most important, but it focuses the players' minds. It might proving people wrong, whether it's critics or rivals wrong. Whether it's real or imagined, it doesn't matter. It's about keeping it fresh and authentic to find different ways to do it. There's always the motivation to prove yourselves. It's especially important at a club like Celtic. There are the big games like Europe and Rangers matches, Cup semi-finals and finals and so on. But the league games are vitally important, and it's every week. Ange has been great at making sure the attitude is the same every single week, and he gets that level of motivation, even when there might be a danger of complacency, or the ease it's more run-of-the-mill. Celtic's Champions League campaign this season may have produced more plaudits than points, but it's time that the powers that be give their manager a fighting chance to really compete. Ange Postecoglou can't turn his team into Champions League conquerors overnight and give the lads this year experience and add a few more to the squad. Remember, the Celtic gaffer did say they're looking at 4 windows to get the squad he wants. That is why I have full support for Ange, because he has the drive and determination to turn Celtic into a consistent Champions League team. The bottom line is the Aussie boss has been buying players to win the Scottish Premiership. I would say RB Leipzig are a better team than Celtic, but with such an ambitious manager in Ange, I want to know what the next level is he can get to. Look, it's a great time again to be a Celtic fan. Let's enjoy the ride.
Roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to